Dave here with Half Dozen Customs. We're back out here on the Monte Carlo for some Monte Monday action. If you haven't been here before, we are building Colleen's Monte Carlo, which is my significant other and my better half. This was her first car. She's had it ever since she was 15. She got her permit in it. And she's held on to it this whole time. It's pretty much stored from 2000 till now. Car's really rough, but we're putting it back together. So we got the trunk lid out here today. Last month I finished getting it sandblasted up. We've gotten the metal work done on it, other than working out some dings and dents, which we're going to work on today. There's some cleanup. There's lots of sand in it from sandblasting, so we're going to work right now on trying to get most of that sand cleaned up. I got blowgun out, vacuum out. Like I said, there's lots of sand in it, so let's try and get that all cleaned out as much as we can. Definitely before it gets primed, we're gonna have to make sure it's all out, but let's see what we can get out right now. And the more we bang on it and the more we do body work and we're sanding and it's vibrating from the sanders and all that stuff, I'm sure it's going to get worked out of all the nooks and crannies and everything that it's kind of jammed and packed into. So that's why I'm saying, like, we'll get as much as we can today, but as we work on it, it's going to loosen up more. We'll have to keep cleaning it out. It's all got to be out before we paint, that's for sure. Okay, next thing we're going to do, I think we're going to run over everything with the wire wheel. And just, you can see right here in this area, which I don't know how I did that. So what that is that, like, when I sandblasted the inside of this trunk, I was having a lot of moisture coming through my air tank, through the airline and whatnot, and that's what caused that. And the whole inside was like that. When we finished the outside, I noticed that the inside was like that when I was moving the trunk around, and I re-sandblasted the inside of the trunk except for that spot. I don't know why I didn't sandblast that spot, but is what it is. I'll run over everything with the wire wheel. Get it cleaned up, maybe get a little cookie action in here. What I need to do, so there's a couple of dents over here that I think we're gonna pin pull. There's a couple of dents up there, maybe we'll pin pull those. And then what I know before we strip this, like the inside was still shiny black. So, black shows everything and shiny shows everything. So I know that inside these areas, which is the outer skin of the trunk, there's dents in them. And I can feel them over here on this side, and I can feel them over here on this side. And what we need to do is we need to try and pinpoint where all the dings and dents are that are in these 4 sections, and try and hammer them out the best we can. Little hammer and dolly action. You know, I really don't want to have to body work all this stuff in here, but I think that we're going to be doing a little bit, just because I don't want to, have the outside look all pretty, and then you open up the trunk, and there's all these dents on the inside of the trunk, that you can clearly tell are on the outside, and that's just a telltale sign that, hey, that trunk lid's full of filler, because there's no dents outside the trunk, but you open the trunk and you can see the dents on the inside. So we're going to try and get those worked out the best that we can. I know it's the inside. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but I would like it to look nice. The trunk lid will be open. There will be some kind of stereo system in there. I've explained that before. So we need to, get it cleaned up. I know that this trunk lid doesn't have an interior trunk cover that goes in there. I don't know if they make them. I've never seen one. And I've looked at all the interior pieces that we can get, because we need pretty much everything for the interior. And they have a whole trunk kit, and there's nothing that goes on the inside of the trunk with that kit that you can buy. So unless I was to make one, which I'm fully capable of making one, line this all with plastic and fiberglass, and then pop it off and cover it in material or paint it, whatever you want to do. We could totally make one, but I don't think that that's the route that I want to go. I'd rather just fix the dents and have the inside of the trunk lid clean enough, fabricating on. Let me get an extension cord out and get the wire wheels set up, and we'll start getting this cleaned up. Okay, got some wire wheelie dealy going on here, and let's clean this up. Okay, well, we got it all cleaned up. Definitely still needs some more work over here where that rust was. You know, just looking at it, I don't know if you guys can pick it up in the camera, but you can tell that the metal is darker over here than it is everywhere else. So, so I think a little cookie next. There's some nooks and crannies that I just couldn't get into with the wire wheel. DA with some 80 grit should take care of the rest. But I don't know how far, like I can see the dents. I can see the dents now. We got a good shine on it with the wire wheel. So I think I'm gonna try and work out some of these dents first before we do any more cleaning. So we'll be back. Okay. I'm gonna try very carefully. There's a few dents right here that are from the inside out. And I can't really see what I'm hitting underneath. So we're gonna hope that I can get this without making worse dents in it. I think I got him out. I'm tapping like very, very lightly. Much better. I can still feel it a little bit, but we're gonna have to, it's just gonna have to get a small swipe there. That side we got some big ones. Much better. Okay, I think that's all the ones that I was worried about. As you can, I mean, you can see part of it. You can see when I would come up here. So I was using the round part of my hammer, so that, you know, we use a square part. You know, there's you know, they're rounded edges, but there's edges. And you can actually create a dent with that if you're not careful. So I use the round edge and I try and keep it flat, not making sure not to hit on an edge. And I work, you know, both sides. I tap from the bottom, and then I stick the dolly underneath, and I actually push up on the metal to where I can see the metal crowning up here, and I tap around the dent that I can see. Now, unfortunately, underneath, we've already cleaned the underneath. There's so much pitting in the outside of this trunk from it being previously stripped before. Not by me. Gotta just make sure that's clear. You can't see where the dents are on the outside. So, you know, I try my best to make sure that we have the dolly over the dent, and then if you hit over here, you can hear that sound, and then go hit where the dolly is. You can hear that it's much more of a like tinny sound when you're actually hitting on this. So, you know, I know, you know, what do we got? 2.5 inches by 3 maybe of an area that I know, as long as I'm hearing that sound, that we are in that area. And I'm not trying to blast it. You know, we're just doing little baby taps. Because for one, I don't want to create more dents than what's already in there. And for two, I don't want to stretch this metal out and end up with a tin can. And the harder you hit, the more you're going to stretch that metal. You're going to start to squish it, and it's going to stretch out, and then you're going to end up with a tin can. So just take your time. Little baby hits, go slow. You know, I mean, I don't, what did we work on that? Maybe 5 minutes or so that we worked on that. No tin can, no extra dents, and we worked out, you know, 90% of what was there. I would be comfortable with just blasting an extra coat of primer there, and I think that we would be just fine. So we will probably just do a little swipe, and then we'll DA it out. But I think that's good for the dents that I wanted to get out. I talked about maybe pin pulling some stuff. You know, I don't even think that we're gonna go that far. I think we'll just put a coat of filler over the dents, and we'll DA them out. Like, I'm not even gonna hand block any of it or anything. We're just gonna DA it out, and I think we'll be fine. You know, it's inside. I want it to look nice. If we don't do anything with it, there's gonna be dents all over the place. So at least if we put a coat over everything, DA it out, there won't be a harsh dent. Might be a wave or a wibble wobble in it, but it's inside. I don't care about that. So what I think we're gonna do next is we're gonna get the little cookie guy out. I don't know what these are called. I've always just called them cookies. I don't know. It's like a burnishing bit. I'd have to look at them when I order them to see what they're actually called. But we're gonna use this all around in this area where that rust was, just to make sure that we're good and cleaned up. Then we're probably gonna hit all the areas that we're gonna coat with some Marglass, where the welds are, where some of that rust is. We're gonna hit that with some 36. Just make sure it's good and roughed up. You know, for the filler that we're gonna put on. So the Duraglas. Okay, you guys shut off there some point in time. I finished cleaning all that up. I ran over the areas that we're gonna put this on with some 36. And I'm getting this mixed up right now. Okay, we got everything coated with the Duraglas that I feel needs to be coated. There's a couple of good sized dents right here. I had it mixed up, so I just hit it there. And then I spread what I had left on the back of the Jeep cab, so anyways, I'm gonna go eat lunch while this dries, and we'll come back later. Hopefully by then my order will have been shipped here. I'm waiting for some supplies to show up, so hopefully that shows up, and maybe later on this evening or whatnot, maybe we can get some lightweight filler on here, and see how far we get. Sounds like it might be freezing raining out there. But anyways, we'll see how far we get tonight. You know, if this stuff is ready to sand later, which it will be, we can get that sanded, get some lightweight filler on here, get that sanded. Maybe by the end of the night, we can get it ready to prime. Not to say that we're gonna get it primed tonight, but maybe we can get it ready for primer. Excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden, so I'm gonna wrap this up real fast. Hopefully we can get it ready for primer tonight. And you know, maybe we can get it primed. You know, at the very least, we can get the inside primed next Monday. If I have some priming, which I do have some stuff that is ready for primer on the Jeep. So if I decide to prime that, then I'll prime this too. So, but anyways, lunchtime. We'll be back later. Bye. All right, we're back out here after some lunch. My delivery came, so we did get some lightweight filler, so hopefully we can get some on tonight. I'm gonna start sanding down this Duraglas. A lot of this is gonna have to be done by hand, but what I can get to with the sander, I'm going to. I'm gonna start with the mud hog first and try and get as much with the mud hog as we can. And then maybe jump over to the DA, and then we'll go to hand. So let's get that set up and ready to go. So this is my mud hog. It's a Mako Tools guy. I think this is 36 on here. Could be 24, I'm not sure. I think it's 36. So, I'll start over here on this guy first. right. I think we pretty much got everything sanded up that needed to be sanded up. I smeared a little bit more right here off camera. Oh, I gotta sand that spot too. So we're gonna have to come back and sand that. There was a bunch of like rust pinholes here. Now this all gets seam sealed, so you know we are gonna seam seal over that. That's why I didn't go through and fix it all. We sandblasted it. We got rid of all the rot that we could see. Of course, there's still some on the inside, but you know, we got it all cleaned up, and I want that filled with Duraglas, because Duraglas is a fiberglass mixture, and it's supposed to be waterproof. So you don't want to fill rust holes or pinholes. Technically, you shouldn't want to ever fill them, but if you're going to, you don't want to use just normal filler. Normal filler absorbs water and holds water, and it's just going to cause that to rot out even faster, because it's going to hold the water. You know, if you weren't to do anything with it, you know, the water would evaporate, but the filler will hold the water and cause it to go faster. So you always want to use Duraglas, because it's a fiberglass mixture. Not saying that it won't still cause problems, but you know, it's better to use that than just filler. Probably would have been better to not do any of it and just use seam sealer, but there was so much rust and pitting going on that if I didn't take care of that, there's a chance some of it wouldn't have been hit with the seam sealer, or you would have had seam sealer all over the place trying to fill in those pinholes, you know. So we smooth it all out first, and then we can do a nice factory looking seam seal. When we go to seam seal this, you know, what I'll end up doing is we'll run tape along the outside edge, we'll run tape along the inside edge, all the way around everything, and then we'll smear it in real nice with our finger, and then pull that tape, and it'll have a nice, just straight line of seam sealer going all the way around. Instead of using like an acid brush and having this, you know, boogery looking mess on there, we'll make it look as nice and as clean as possible. From the factory, it's kind of how it was done. I'm sure they have a special tip or something that they pull across there, and it just leaves a nice flat bead, which, you know, the seam sealer that I use, it can be done with it, but I still have the squeeze style caulk gun. If you get a battery operated caulk gun where you can control the flow, and it's one steady nice flow, you can pull a nice straight line like that. Something I wouldn't mind getting, but not a necessity, I guess. That would be kind of a luxury item. Okay, I think we got everything sanded up. This spot's not ready yet. There's a few spots that I need to DA down where there's some dings. So we're gonna DA those down real quick, and we're gonna get a coat of lightweight filler on everything. And then that'll probably be the end of the night. It's already after 9 o'clock, and I'm not gonna sit out here and wait for this stuff to dry. We'll just let it dry till next week, and then next week we'll be able to hopefully block everything out, recoat anything that needs to be recoated, block that out, and get the inside primed. So, and then, you know, the following Monday, we'll get started on the outside. So, but let's get the DA out and start DAing some of this stuff down. I hit some of it already. Up just a half a tablespoon more. We're so close. All right. I think we got everything coated up. Like I said, I think that's it for tonight. We got all the dings taken care of. I think. I hope. Hopefully we didn't miss any. If we did, oh well. But yeah, I think we're looking good. I think we got a lot of work done today on this. You know, I can tell right there just by looking at the glare that's across the filler I just put on. It's going to need a little bit more. Hopefully that up there will be okay. That's the one main spot that got all the work done. So up here, there was a bunch of big dents up there, and I know what those dents are from. So Colleen has told me that the whole time she ever had this car, that the trunk never held itself up. So they used a pipe. I still have the pipe. It was in the trunk. I use it all the time. It's a good pipe. But that's from them setting the trunk lid on that pipe, and it dented everything up right there, right by the latch. So, but yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. We should be getting some primer on the inside of this next week. Stay tuned. I know this is Monte Monday, and you guys see me sitting in front of the Jeep here. It's actually Tuesday, and I'm working on this. But Colleen just came out here a few minutes ago and told me that we lost the great Gene Winfield. So it's a very sad day in the automotive industry. You know, my heart goes out to all his friends and family that are going through a terrible time at the moment. But I just wanted to, touch base on that. He definitely was a major part of my life. Watching him build cars and learning so much from him. Me and Colleen actually got to meet him. I have a poster from the build that he did with Jesse James that he actually signed for us. So he will be greatly missed. You know, the automotive industry lost a legend today. So my thoughts are with you, Gene. Fly high, and you know we'll keep building cars down here with the stuff that you taught us. Thank you for everything, and may God be with you. I'm out, everybody.
Oh.